Wargame Red Dragon, a real-time tactics game set in an alternate timeline where the Cold War went hot and people test the limits of the First Amendment instead of playing the game. I'm gonna be honest, I originally had written a much longer in-depth review of the game, and I didn't even finish it. I got bored, it was boring, so instead I'm opting to do the video this way. Let's get started. If English is your first language, then the first thing you're going to want to do when you boot up the game is join the French global chat. Believe me, you don't want to see what they're saying in the English one. It's either horrible or horrible in Russian. Next, you'll see you can either play the game single player or multiplayer. There are 5 different campaigns you can play in single player spanning different eras of the Cold War. My personal favorite is the Second Korean War because, as you can see, it takes place in 1992, which means you get access to the latest and greatest, most fun units in the game. You see, each unit has a lot of numbers attached to it, most of which I still don't fully understand even after playing this game for 9 years. But one of those numbers includes the year the unit was invented in real life. This is only relevant if for some reason you feel like playing a match that only allowed units before a certain time period, either 1985 or 1980. Like I said, this is a tactics game. There's no base building or resource gathering here. You build a deck like a card game. There are 2 main factions you can play as, Alliance and Horde. After choosing your faction, you want to select a race and a class. Some races have limitations on which classes they can pick. You can always play classless, but choosing a class will give you access to new units and allow you to have more cards of that class's type at the expense of having less cards of other types. Gameplay. Destruction, the best game mode. Everyone has an equal amount of starting points to set up their initial forces. After the setup phase, you send your units out to capture territory, find the enemy, and kill them all. You win by destroying the value and points of the enemy units until you reach the score limit. You need command units to remain stationary on an objective in order to have it under your control. The more objectives you have, the more income you receive to call in more units. This is effectively the game mode you'll be playing during battles of the campaigns. Don't get me wrong, the campaigns are a fun time waster, but the real juice of the game is in the multiplayer. There are 2 main types of servers, Absolute Chaos and Tactical. Choose one of these servers, or any server that says the starting points is at least 40,000, closer to 60,000, if you want to see half of your deck get destroyed in the opening gambit of the match. Then proceed to wage a 45-minute long war of attrition and end in a draw. But on the bright side, you get to appreciate the behemoth scale of this game, and watch moments like this happen in the replay. choose one of these servers if you want something designed for the more elegant player, the true strategist. These servers are 10v10 matches playing in either 1v1, 2v2, or 3v3 sized maps. Starting points are set to a very low amount, typically 5,000, which means each person gets 500 points to start. And the income is set to very low, -40%, which means you will basically be getting no money to call in reinforcements. So what you start with is what you get. You better take care of them. Your units count more than ever now, because if you so much as lose one of them, someone on your team will flame you and throw the game. Because from their point of view, you suck. You're a liability. This one is already lost, so long as you remain in this match. Time to quit. Watch this stealth bomber kill dozens of men as nobody does anything about it, because by the time the bombs have dropped and you notice something is happening, the culprit will already be gone. Take a look at this Dutch tactical ballistic missile destroying this developing urban center just to make a point. Not very nice. The scale of this game, if you haven't noticed, is enormous. Being able to be zoomed all the way out and not really being able to tell that hell on earth is going on down there, to being able to be right up in the action. This game is amazing. I might go as far as saying I'm addicted to it. I give it 10 First Amendment violations out of 10. Thanks everyone for watching. Leave a comment below with the nicest thing a teammate has ever said to you. Stay bricked.